Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Voracious Wow of Voracious Creations, and yeah, welcome back, and also happy Friday. You made it through the work week or the school week, whichever you got going on, and if you work tomorrow, keep on trucking. All right, so today we're going to be looking at, I'm going to be rating every single Naruto SH Figuarts Naruto figure I own. And this is going to be all, in my opinion, my personal preference. So if you think you have a better list, you're probably right. You do have a better list. But for now, this is my list. And yeah. So, but before we go into that, I just want to talk a little bit about my Naruto, how I got started with Naruto. So like in 5th grade, I had a friend. Her name was Aixa. If, Aixa. All right, and she was very, very much so into anime, and like she actually taught herself Japanese just from watching it. Anyways, so she was really into Naruto, and it just so happens that we were friends, and I get obviously friends want to share what they are into with each other, so she shared her Naruto manga collection with me. She actually let me read all the way up until book 21, and that was the last book I had, and I think she ended up letting me keep it. I don't even know what happened to it. But it was all the way up to the Sasuke survival arc, or retrieval arc, and the book ended with Choji turning into a butterfly, and yeah, I don't know, it was just awesome. I was in 5th grade, a little boy, ninjas, fireball jutsus, all that good stuff. I was very much so into it, and so I kind of obsessed over it in 5th grade. And like I said, I read up to the Sasuke retrieval arc, but only read Choji's part. And I didn't even finish Choji's part. I literally ended. I actually didn't find out what happened until a couple years later. I ended up playing the Broken Bond Naruto video game, and just finished it and learned the rest of the story through there. But anyways, so I got obsessed with it, and the reason I collect it now is because, well, when you get obsessed as a child, you want all the action figures, you dream of having all the action figures. And yeah, so this right now, this is me collecting them. It's like me feeding that childhood nostalgia. Being a little kid from a single family home, basically, you can't afford everything, which, not a big deal, not a sad story. So now I'm actually collecting them all just to satisfy that hunger, that childhood hunger. And I'm very happy with it. I'm glad that this is the line that brought me back into collecting, because before I did collect Marvel Legends, X-Men, and just X-Men. Again, I stuck to my only one franchise rule, and I only collected X-Men, and they had a bunch of different teams, but I got bored with it. It was just I didn't really care for it too much, and I didn't even know like half the characters that they were starting to put out. All I knew was the X-Men 97, and what got me into this specifically was that my nephews just so happened to get into Naruto with their family, with my older sister and her fiance or husband. And so I wanted to collect, and I seen that this line just basically started. I think I started last July with it, and yeah, as you can see, I accumulated a lot of figures since last July, and yeah, I've been in love with it ever since, or very happy with it. And before we get into it, I'm going to talk about the Jiraiya price also a little bit, because I know that the Big Bad Toy Store messed it up. And honestly, it would have been super unfortunate to have to pay almost $200 for it. Because I personally would have purchased it. And like for me, like I think it's weird to pocket watch or complain about prices. Like, no, trust me, I wish every figure was $20, but it's a hobby. Like this is, as you can see, I have a closed box Obito. I have another Obito box behind that, and I paid $120 for this one. He's my second one, and I'll go into details in the ranking why I bought a second one. But like it's a hobby. Like how are you gonna tell a hobbyist what's too much or what's too little for them? Personally, like I would have bought the Jiraiya. I would have been happy with it too. If I had to pay the 200. but it's just all about, like, as a budget collector, it's just about properly saving. And if you see something you want, like, again, why would you tell someone, oh, you're so crazy for paying $200 for, like, what, who cares? Like, cars are expensive hobbies, I know, right, comparing it to cars, but it's just the thing, like if a hobbyist sees something they want, it doesn't really matter too much on price. Obviously they're not going to sell a kidney for it, maybe, perhaps, I don't know, but it's just a weird thing to try to influence other people's purchases just because you're unsatisfied with prices and stuff. Who cares? People are going to do what they want, they're going to collect what they want, and I think it's just a weird stupid argument to argue what's overpriced and what's not. I mean, when I collect my X-Men line, right, last thing, when I collected my X-Men line, those are $20 Marvel Legends Hasbro figures, and I paid $80 twice for a loose Rogue, not even in the box, not even with the Juggernaut piece. And so it's just like, if a hobbyist sees something they want, they're gonna get it. So it's like, it's just a weird thing to argue about price. Okay, all right, that was just a little rant. Sorry about that. Now let's get into the ranking of my figures. Thanks, guys. All right, so for number 16 on my list, we'll go to the event exclusive Jiraiya. He does have a great shelf presence, but the reason he is so lowered on this, or so low on this list, is because he looks good, but the fun factor's not there. Every time I mess with this guy, I feel like his arms are gonna fall off, and yeah, it just makes me not want to pick him up out of my display case and pose him around. Usually I would take one figure out the case, that I'm really attached to at the moment, and just pose them around. I'll take their box out of their space and just pose them with their figures, and this figure is the one that I do that the least with, and that's why he's ranked at number 16. Alright, so for number 15, it will go to event exclusive Madara Uchiha. And I know everyone says that he's a statue, no posability, and everything they say is true about this figure. But the reason he ranked higher for me, higher than Jiraiya, even though Jiraiya is more posable, is because of his display presence. Like, every time I walk in the room and the lights are on in my display case, like, he literally takes the attention. And it's mostly because, like, as you can see, look at the way the lights just reflect off him. It looks really good. But unfortunately, I do not have a box for this guy. I actually got him on Mercari loose, and he was like I think $95 after shipping and handling, and I was just like, you know what, I'm probably not gonna find this guy again for that good of a price, even though he doesn't have a box. So I actually pulled the trigger and got him. Yes, I do wish I had the box, but I'm most likely going to buy another event exclusive one, and probably yeah, just keep him in the box just for my personal satisfaction. Yeah, other than that, like, he just looks really good in the display case, the way the light reflects off him and everything, and that's the reason why he ranked higher than our posable Jiraiya. Okay, so for number 14, and this one actually kind of hurt me to put him so low, but number 14 is Minato Namikaze, and the reason for that is because of his robe, and not even because it's plastic, but mostly BBB, because it's white, and unfortunately I have clammy hands, so like, he looks really cool, looks fun, and I love the kunai in his mouth. Like, it looks great and everything, but I feel like I have to wash my hands every time before I go and handle this figure, and so it just discourages me from posing him a lot. And plus, I actually just got like the yellow lightning effects, and I had the blue wind effects, and posing Minato with the yellow and the blue wind the yellow lightning and the blue wind effects, it actually was a lot of fun. Like, he is a lot of fun to pose around, but like I said, I just feel like I have to wash my hands, and yeah, it just discourages me, because who wants to wash their hands every time they want to handle their figures? And number 13 goes to Kid Naruto, and this figure is a lot of fun, and the posability with him is, great. Obviously, I know you guys seen reviews on him, but what keeps this guy from going any higher, here, let me show you, is literally this part. It's this collar piece. Oh, let focus. Focus. There you go. So it's this collar piece. I really don't like it. I know it's there to help the articulation, but it just, this, look at his arms all stuck. It's very stiff. But it's like how let me see. Can you get it good? It gets caught a lot, so is it not going? Anyways, it gets caught a lot. I'm trying to let it, there you go. I have to squint down or crouch down a little bit, but it keeps getting caught. That piece gets caught a lot, and I find myself every time I try to pose him is trying to fix that piece, and it gets annoying, so that's like the only thing that's keeping him from higher and going any higher. And honestly, like, this was my bread and butter before, like when I jumped into the line. I did purchase Kid Naruto, Kid Sasuke, and Kakashi first, from the nostalgic feeling of watching Naruto. These were my first figures, my first SHF. But like I said, that I don't even know what you would call that piece. The butterfly joint piece, I would say. Yeah, it's just kind of obnoxious. I don't like messing with it, or I don't like that I have to mess with it every time just to make the poses look better, because if not, you'd have that weirdo big gap. Yeah, so that's why he's ranked the way he's ranked. All right, so before we get any further, I do want to apologize that most of my figures that I am rating, they're just in static poses. Yeah, it's just because I'm not really good at editing right now, and yeah, that would take a lot of work to open, edit, and yeah, I'm just not that good at it right now, so thank you for bearing with me. But anyway, so number 12 has to go with Kakashi Hatake. And he's a very fun figure. I actually really very much so enjoyed him. Him and Kid Sasuke were the ones that I actually messed with the most when I first got him. And again, I started collecting the Naruto line back in July, so less than a year ago. And but the reason he's rated so low is because the lack of accessories. At least like a kunai holding hand, or like, I don't mind so much that he doesn't come with a lightning blade, because you can borrow it from the Sasuke's, or the Sasuke's. I was about to say Naruto. But so you can borrow it from the Sasuke's. I think what really like sets this figure back though is the fact that he doesn't have weapon holding hands. And yeah, like every time I want to display or pose this figure, I'd have to take out his box and a Sasuke box, depending on which lightning blade or Chidori I want to use. And yeah, so it's just like, I don't, it just kind of discourages me from wanting to pull him out and have fun with him, so that's why he's ranked at number 12. So 11 and 10 goes to the Naruto 90 or Naruto and the Jinchuriki Trusted in Hope figures. And the reason I paired them as 11 and 10 is because both of these figures complement each other very well, and they're literally the same thing minus different faceplates and stuff. So I do basically have them all out, and this is the figure I have the most of. The Jinchuriki one. I only have one Naruto one, and I plan on getting another one just to have two for the display purposes. But if I had to choose one, to be honest, to get stuck with, it would be the Jinchuriki Trusted in Hope. And that's because it does come with a little more. Like, yes, the Naruto faceplates are beautiful, but it's missing the Rasengan, and I feel like that's like a essential part with Naruto's kit. Like, I know he didn't learn it until a while in Naruto, but as of Naruto Shippuden, he knows Rasengan, and I feel like it wouldn't be a complete set without it. And also, I really like, personally, I'm a big fan of the crossed arms. So I choose the crossed arms and the Rasengan over the Naruto banner anytime. Yeah, so these are 11 and 10. 11 being Naruto and 10 being Jinchuriki. And number 9 goes to Itachi Uchiha. And I'm not a huge Uchiha fan. You know, I like the Uchihas, but they're not my go-to characters. I think they're cool, and honestly, all their, I guess it's just because you know the lore. Since I know, like, I'm aware of the lore. Like their shelf presence is just so it's immaculate. You know, it's beautiful. Chef's kiss for real. And like it's the only reason he's ranked the way he's ranked is just because I have fun with the other figures more. Because we're now, I should have said it, we are in the top 10 at this moment, and yeah, he makes it at number 9, and I think, like as you can see, like this, the sheath blade, if you know about it, I think it'll be perfect. Like if you just bought a couple extras of those to break them off, and then like he would be perfect to recreate the his and Kakashi's first encounter, when he got caught in the what, I don't know, I'm not gonna butcher it, but I think Kusuyomi, I don't know. Forgive me, I don't know the names, but yeah, and he was just repeatedly stabbing him, so I just think it'll be like, you know, the possibility with this guy is endless, and I feel because of his signature pose, like even if we get all of the Akatsuki, you know, his presence will stick out the most just because of his signature pose. And again, he's number 9. All right, so for number 8, it belongs to Kid Sasuke, and honestly, like, I know that he has the diaphragm joint that is not super articulated, but it doesn't matter to me. Honestly, he's so much fun to pose. Uh, and then plus he comes with a lot of accessories. Like I don't know what it is about him. You know, I'm like I said, I wasn't a huge like Uchiha or Kid Sasuke fan or anything, but the playability with this figure is unmatched. He comes with Fireball Jutsu, his Chidori, and then the Demon Wind Shuriken. Like that's kind of a lot, especially for one figure. Anyways, yeah. So he's just so much fun to pose and play with, and just getting him and his Sharingan eyes and posing him with the dual hands connected. I don't know. He's just a lot of fun. I can't even really explain it. Like, you know, like when you get a figure and you can't put him down, that's who he was before I got the rest of my collection. Like him and Kakashi were just like those figures that I couldn't put down and kept on messing with. So, yep, this is Kid Sasuke at number 8. Okay, so for number 7, we have another great figure, and that is Orochimaru. All right, I remember reading the mangas, and I just remember his entry. You know, it wasn't super dynamic or anything, but like once he revealed himself and started ripping off his face, it was just a very freaky, creepy moment. It was a huge what the F moment for me as a 5th grader. And his figure, you know, it doesn't hold back. You know, this is my favorite pose to have him in, like shadow striking with the sword sticking out. And it's just a lot of fun to pose this figure and to get him into menacing poses. I really like all the accessories he comes with. My favorite one is being the curse mark Sasuke head. Yeah, I just have a lot of fun with this guy. Nothing really too much, nothing too special. It's just he's just a lot of fun to pose and play with, especially this pose. Like I really like it, and I did try to do a photography session with it, but I'm getting better with it, and I'm learning as I go. So, but anyways, this is number 7. Very fun figure to have. No real connection with him. He's just a lot of fun to play with. So at number 6, we have Madara Uchiha, right? Anyways, Obito Uchiha. And honestly, this is a very, very fun figure. Like I said, no real attachments, not really into the Uchiha. Like they're cool, and their presence it's menacing, especially once you know like their lore and stuff, and then you put them on that on your display. It's like, yeah, I know what you did. You're a bad guy, you know, like bad good, you know. Anyways, so I do have 2 of him, and the reason I have 2 of him is because like the one that's out was my only one, and I really want, like, I don't know, something about the fully robed one, with the sleeve, like the soft goods, like it just puts his playability and his presence at like an all-time high at 10, you know, like so anyways, when I got the second one, I was supposed to be ordering the soft goods with him, but obviously it's sold out. It would sell out when I was ready to purchase, of course, but not the point. So so I'm just basically waiting for them to restock, and I will do a complete, you know, video of him, you know, removing all the pieces and putting him in the soft goods. But for now, yeah, this is let me see, number 6. I don't even remember my list. And anyways, number 6 goes to Obito Uchiha. So for number 5, we have KCM Naruto. And, you know, it's unfortunate that, you know, he's not higher on this list. And, you know, it's nothing, like, too crazy. Like I said, I have clammy hands, you know, and I feel like if I pick this figure up, I have to wash them before I even, you know, handle him. I mean, I guess it should be the case, but I don't know. I really don't know how people are with their figures, but I just have clammy hands, and I don't like to touch things clammy. And so this is just like the same reason as Minato. He could have got ranked a lot higher, but just because I'm afraid I'm going to damage him, I tend not to mess with him too much. But his display, like when I do handle him, I'll put him in like 1 or 2 poses and then put him back. And also I'm worried about like paint chip and everything. I guess like I don't know. I'm really weird with my figures, you know. I like to display them, you know. I do pose them and have fun with them, but like I mostly like to admire them in the case and pull one out at a time and, you know, play with it that way. So, and yes, like I wish he could be higher, but you know, like because of my clammy hands and I'm afraid of damaging the figure, he is ranked at number 5. Great figure though. Like he comes with a lot of hands, if anything. Like maybe too many hands. Like I don't know. It gets off the right poses. All right, so this is my number 5 figure. And at number 4, we have the one who bears all hatred, the emo boy, the poster boy for emo, right? Anyways, Sasuke Uchiha, the teen version, and again, oh, look at, can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. I painted my Mangekyo eyes. Mangekyo is such a funny word to say, but yeah, you can actually see it in there. That's cool. So this guy, like, again, like the kid Sasuke, is just so much fun. He doesn't come with as much. I mean, I guess it's just minus the fireball and the Demon Wind Shuriken. Yeah, but anyways, he comes with 2 items less, but he definitely makes up for it with his playability. Like, he comes with 3 different, like, 3 different sword sets, so that you could get him in like different poses, like the pulling out the sword poses, and it just makes him like so much fun to have fun to play with. And his looseness of his articulation, like it's just so smooth and flows like effortlessly, and it's a very fun figure, and that's why he's ranked at number what is it? Did I put it? Yeah, number 4. I don't know my list, but number 4. This is my number 4 guy. He who bears all hatred, Sasuke. And at number 3, we have Sage Mode Naruto. And this figure, honestly, chef's kiss. I know people were complaining about the price and everything. Again, you know, you heard what I said. It's weird to argue about price when it comes to hobby collecting. Yes, in a perfect world, we would get $20 figures, like masterpiece figures, but unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world. And like personally, me, I think he's properly priced. You know, like because if you wanted to buy the Arthur kit toys, that's like between $30 to $40, and then for a good robe and scroll, that's another $20 to $30. And then if you have to get the Jinchuriki or the Naruto even figure, and that again is another $30 to $40. And you add all that together, you're looking at between 90 to 100 bucks, you know. So and plus, like, they retooled the hands and everything. I know they made them a little bit smaller, so again, I don't know. I personally don't look at price too much, especially because, you know, as a collector, if I want something, I'm gonna get it. And, you know, obviously within the means, you know, like if I can't spend my last on action figures when I need gas or food, you know. So that's not, but properly saving money for your figures and not buying everything that you want, you know, and buying what you desire, you know, like that's two different things, you know. It doesn't sound like it. You know, it helps, you know, it helps not to actually enjoy the to enjoy your purchase and enjoy the figure, you know. So like, but anyways, I'm moving away from the topic. Yeah, this figure is so much fun to play with, honestly. His joints feel a lot smoother than the Chinchuriki and the Naruto one, and it's just fun, you know. I actually want to get two more of him, and if I don't get two more, I'd probably purchase just the Rasengan hands and the Rasengans, you know, just because, like, he is compatible with the Chinchuriki and Naruto figures. Um, so you know, like, to have those extra Rasengan hands, like, it'll be perfect, and it'll literally make the playability with all your figures so much fun. But anyways, for now, this is the number 2 guy. So let's move on to number 1, right? Okay, so if you've been watching my video from the beginning to end and keeping track with the Naruto line, you'll know that my number 1 is, or 1 and 2. Oh, and you know what, that reminds me, I did call Sage Mode number 2, but my 1 and 2 truly is the Sakura Haruno, the Naruto, and the inheritor of Tsunade's Indomitable Will. Is that what she's called? I don't even know. Yeah, it was something like that. But the Naruto version and the regular release version. And honestly, this figure, like, I would say they're both number 1 and 2, both of them. Like, it's hard to pick which one would be number 1 and which one would be number 2, because these two figures complement each other so well, and they wouldn't even be this high up if they weren't paired together. So again, this is number 1 and 2, and the reason for that is that she is honestly so much freaking fun to look at and to play with. Her shelf presence, you know, it gets, or display presence, it gets outshined by a lot of the figures, but like individually, like, this girl is so much fun to mess with. I mean, from the windswept hair to like her yelling face, or even if you had her like neutral face from this box, like her like eyebrows scrunch, ready to get serious, and with the windswept hair, like, I swear, chef's kiss. It just looks so good, and it's so much fun to just pose around and play with, you know. Like, even with her giant deadly axe, honestly, if they didn't give her the axe, and like, it'll probably be bad, you know. But I don't know how high she would be without the axe, but if they didn't do it and they just gave us all the pieces minus that, okay, my bad, I'm repeating myself, but if they gave everything but the axe, I'd still be satisfied with this, the playability with it. Like I said, she just looks really good, and that the wind-swept hair, excuse me, is really what does it for me, you know. Like, it just adds so much characteristics, I think, or not personality, but so much dimension, I think that's the word I'm looking for, to like the figure and the display, and that's honestly why she's rated so high. But I hope you like my review again, my ratings. Again, this is personally opinion based. If you think your list is better, feel free to share it in the comments. I'd be more than happy to check it out and, you know, let you know if it's good or not. I mean, I can't really say, just because, again, it's all opinion based, you know. Like, a lot of this stuff is based off how much I have fun with it, you know. It's not because the character's better or anything like that. It's just personally on how much fun I have with the figure, and she is literally the number 1 figure I have fun with. I find myself pulling her out a lot, like the most out of the case, and yeah, so that's why I personally think, you know, if we're going off of playability and not character likeness, on how much you like the character, I think she'd be rated higher in a lot of people's lists. All right, thank you for watching, and God bless ya. I thought I'd share this video with you. This is the aftermath of me reviewing every single figure. You know, they're kind of all over the place. This is my review station, and you know, oh, the lights are on, let me turn that off. And you know, like, my review station is literally a desk with a curtain in the background, you know, so like you don't need anything. And if you check out my Instagram, you know that I take photos, and this is where I take it at. You know, you don't need too much, nothing special. Oh yeah, check this out, look at all my boxes are everywhere. But you know, like you don't need high-end quality stuff just to make stuff look good. And so that's what this channel is about budget collecting. Oh yeah. Oh, so I know I didn't do a lot of poses in my video, but I'm actually going to, for Monday for you guys, I'm going to put all my figures back in the display and make a video out of that. So stay tuned for that. And again, God bless y'all.